What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. Today, it is literally the perfect temperature. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better day. We got blue skies, and again, it's like the perfect temperature with a little bit of a breeze, which is why I am reviewing the 2023 Toyota Crown Platinum. Huge thank you to Arlo Guthrie over at Ourisman Toyota of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Crown or any Toyota product, I'll be sure to have Arlo's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, first let's talk about the exterior and performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Toyota Crown Platinum, and this particular one has been painted in the $425 Oxygen White, which, mind you, looks absolutely phenomenal here in the direct sunlight in collaboration with the black accents that you guys get with the Platinum. But I wanted to mention that if you guys saw this thing driving down the road, you had no idea what it was, you weren't a car person, I'd honestly think that this was like a Lexus, maybe a BMW, maybe a Cadillac, because honestly, it does not look like a Toyota. It looks really, really good. And honestly, I filled this thing up at the gas station and I noticed people were looking at it. It was kind of catching people's eyes, which I think is pretty cool. And again, I just don't think that it looks like a Toyota. It looks like something a little bit more premium than a Toyota. But you guys can get the Crown in 1 or 3 trims, starting with the XLE, working our way up to the Limited, which is like the mid-range model, and then the Platinum, which is the fully loaded one that we have here today. The Platinum starts at a cool $52,350, but pretty much comes fully loaded. I mean, there are no packages that you guys can get. You guys can only add a couple accessories. But let's start over here at our headlights. So with the Platinum, you guys do get a black headlight bezel with quad LED projector headlights with automatic high beams. You also do get LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and some black trim to the right and left sides of your headlights, dependent on which side you guys are on, whether it be the driver's side or the passenger side. But over here on the driver's side, I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but your headlights end about right here, and then from here on up to there is all just a black trim piece. And right here it says Toyota, and then it says Crown written out. So I think that's pretty cool. But working our way to the center of the front end, you guys do get a body color grille slash headlight header, which is located up top here, and this is what I'm talking about, or this is what is in question. And then towards the center of that is where you will find your chrome Toyota logo. And then just beneath your Toyota logo, one thing that I found was kind of interesting is that this little piece right here looks like it would be a light, but I think that it is just a silver trim piece that again looks like a light strip that's like LED, but I really don't think it is, because when I turn the headlights on in the fully on position, it did not light up. So I don't think that it is a light. But just below that, you guys do get a black open upper grille, which is located right here with 1 grill bar on that side, 1 grill bar on that side, and then this piece right here in the center is closed off, and it's just like a black trim piece. And then working our way down, you guys do get a closed off black X design lower grille, and that is a look at the lower grille. And then right here is where you will find your forward-facing camera. That forward-facing camera goes along with your 360-degree view camera system that comes standard with the Crown, which is really, really nice. And then taking a step back, I wanted to show you guys what the front end looks like. So basically 90% of the front end is black, which looks really good, especially with this white here. And then you get a silver trim piece towards the bottom of your front bumper, located about right there. And then the rest, like the lower fascia, is again all in black. And then you also do get 6 forward-facing sensors on the front end total. I'll point those out to you guys now. That is 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over there, again for 6 forward-facing sensors total. And then if you guys were wondering about the ground clearance with the Crown, you guys get 5.8 inches of ground clearance, which is more of like a sedan like ground clearance rather than like an SUV. And this is kind of like a mix of a sedan slash SUV, because really, if you guys sit and you feel the driving position, it feels more like an SUV's driving position rather than a sedan's. But I just wanted to let you guys know what the ground clearance was like with it. Right here, you get a side marker light that also doubles as a reflector. You guys can see your sensor right there. And then you guys do get some satin black wheel arch moldings above all your wheels and tires. You also do get an independent front suspension with the stabilizer bar, and the suspension at all 4 corners is an active variable suspension. So depending on what drive mode you're in, it'll either loosen or it will firm, let's say if you put it into sport mode. But These beautiful wheels come standard with the Platinum. They are a 21-inch 10-spoke black with machined accent wheels. They are wrapped in a 225/45 Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tire. And I'll give you guys a view of the tread pattern on that tire as best as I can. That is what it looks like. I say this in pretty much all of my videos, but honestly, I think Michelin tires are kind of a flex because they look really, really good. You guys can see just the sidewall of a Michelin is way better than what you would find in a Dunlop. Continentals look good as well, but Michelin is definitely the king of the sidewall. Let me know if you guys agree with that statement in the comment section down below. But working our way up to our side view mirrors, you guys do get body color mirror caps with integrated LED turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated, power adjustable, power folding. You get your blind spot monitoring on the left hand side of your driver's side mirror, and then about right there on the right hand side of your passenger side mirror. These side view mirrors also get puddle lights and a camera on the bottom. So this right here, I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but that is your camera. And then right over here is your puddle light, which is, you know, very, very nice. And it's kind of like a two-tone design. So it's body color on top, and then you get that satin black plastic on the bottom. Let's do a little side profile action of the crown. That is it. And you guys do get chrome window trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access. You guys get black door moldings, as you may be able to see, which is pictured on screen right now. And then you guys do get some satin black rocker panels at the bottom of all your passenger doors, which again is displayed on screen, which kind of flows nicely into your satin black wheel arch moldings. If you guys want to fill this vehicle up with gas, there is a button that you guys press on the interior to open up this fuel door. By the way, I had to fill this thing up with gas before I started this video, and I put about $5 or 1.5 gallons worth of regular fuel in this thing, and it bumped me up from a 20 gallon or 20 mile fuel range to a 75 gallon or 75 mile fuel range, which is really, really nice to see because my daily driver gets like maybe at most 20 miles per gallon. So it's nice to see that this thing actually does very, very well on fuel. But up top here, you guys do get a body color shark fin antenna. You also do get a rear window defogger, which leads kind of nicely into this black trim piece right here. That kind of, like, if you tinted this thing out, you would have all blacked out, and then you'd have this blacked out trim piece on the top of your trunk lid, which again, if you tinted it out, it would look really good and it would flow very, very nicely. You also have like these two fins. Maybe that aids with aerodynamics, or maybe it's a stylistic trait of the Crown. Not 100% sure, but I thought I would point that out. You get another side marker light right there, and then boom, this is the money shot. This is the back end of the Crown. So you guys do get LED taillights with a sweeping LED strip, which is displayed on screen right now. It's basically like a connecting light that connects your two taillights together. It looks pretty sweet. You have your Toyota logo located at the center of that LED strip, and then just below your Toyota logo is where you'll find your rear view camera. Again, the rear view camera works with your 360-degree view camera system. That comes standard on the Platinum. You have your chrome Platinum lettering located at the center of your trunk. And then on this side, you get the Hybrid Max, which basically signifies that this thing's got all the power. So when you guys get the Platinum, you guys get a very potent powertrain, which I will get into here after we get out of the exterior part of the video. But you guys can see Platinum lettering also in chrome. If you guys want to open up your trunk, just make sure you have your key fob in your pocket. Find this little button located right here. Press on that button, and then the trunk unlocks. I would have liked to see a power trunk that opens and closes on its own, but this one does not have it, or the Crown as a whole does not have that. But that would have been nice to see, but again, doesn't have it. A couple options back here. Like I mentioned, you can only get really accessories, and the only accessories really that this one is optioned with is the $309 all-weather mats and the all-weather cargo tray. So your all-weather mats are located in here, and then this is your all-weather cargo tray. Basically rubber floor mats and a rubber liner here for your cargo area. And then you also do get the $25 first aid kit, and that is what the first aid kit looks like, at least from the outside. And then underneath your all-weather floor liner cargo tray back here, you have a little handle that you guys can grab onto, and that will reveal your spare tire, your jack, and all the necessary items in order to change a tire if, God forbid, you guys do get a flat tire. But pulling on this will just drop your second row seat. So watch what happens when I pull on that. The second row seat will unlock. Now you have access to push those seats down for a little bit more storage space. But the Crown has a ton of storage space back here, really for the vehicle's size. So that's very, very nice. You also get another 6 backup sensors back here total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You get 2 reflectors back here, 1 on the passenger side, 1 on the driver's side. You get a satin black rear valance with another silver trim piece at the bottom of that. One thing I haven't mentioned yet, but I'm going to mention now, is that take a look at the body design language from about right here. This really kind of reminds me of, like, the roof design reminds me of a Lucid Air. That is why I'm saying that this thing doesn't look like a Toyota. It looks like something fancier than a Toyota. Let me know if you guys agree with that statement in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that this thing looks like something different than a Toyota? Because personally, I think it does. I think it looks like a Lucid. I think it looks like a Lexus. I think it looks like a Cadillac. It could be all the above if I didn't know what it was and I was not a car person. But let me know if you guys agree or you guys think the same thing about the design language of it, at least from the exterior's perspective. Again, let me know in the comments. But let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder that also works with a rear axle mounted electric motor. Total output is 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a direct shift 6-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.4 seconds. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 29 miles per gallon in the city, 32 miles per gallon on the highway, for 30 miles per gallon combined with standard all-wheel drive. I think those fuel economy numbers are pretty darn good, especially considering the size of this vehicle and considering how much trunk space there is and how much just passenger space there is in the interior. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today or taking anything from this video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. That has been a long-term goal of mine, so thank you all so much. But now that we've hit 10, we are on a journey to 100,000 subscribers. That sounds crazy to say, but again, if you guys have taken anything from the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, like I mentioned to you guys earlier on in the video, you guys do get keyless access. Keyless access can be found on all 4 door handles and for your trunk access as well. But I wanted to show you guys what the key fob looks like. So on the back side of the key fob, it says Toyota, it says Crown. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to read that. But on the other side, you got your lock function, you got your unlock function, you have the function to open up your trunk, and obviously you also have your panic function. But like I said, you get keyless access. All you got to do, have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You guys can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these 2 hash marks right here, and you can tell that the vehicle locks because the side view mirrors fold in. But now let's see what the interior of the Crown has to offer. So starting with the driver's side door panel, you guys get some black leather wrapping from right here all the way up to here. On the top of the door panel, you get some vinyl wrapping. You get a satin aluminum door sill, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. Pressing on this button will power fold in your side view mirrors. Here are your power adjustable side view mirror controls. This button will restrict your passenger window privileges. These are your unlock and your lock functions, and then you get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. You also get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest with some stitching. You get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space right here. And then you got a spot right here you can set a Deer Park water bottle, but you're not quite gonna be able to fit a smart water bottle right there. Taking a look at our door sill, you guys get a brushed aluminum Toyota Crown door sill. It looks very, very nice. And then the surrounding area of that is satin black plastic. You get an 8-way power front driver seat and an 8-way power front passenger seat. That is what your seat controls look like. This is a look at the seats themselves. You kind of have like this bronzish brown accent colored piping. It looks pretty cool here on the interior, and you guys will kind of see that like brownish bronze accent trim throughout the entire interior. But I'm gonna take the windsock off before my camera overheats, so I'll be right back. All right, I got the windsock off the camera, and I also moved into a shadier spot. So like I mentioned, you get keyless access, so you also do get push button start. Just make sure you have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake, and then push to start. and then the vehicle fires up. Obviously, it's a hybrid, so right now just the electric is going, but I am going to turn the climate system off because of audio's sake. I'm also going to close the door and roll a couple windows down because, you know, it is relatively hot outside here today. But we're going to start over here, work our way to these screens, and then work our way into those rear seats. But like I mentioned, we're going to start over here. So let's start with this button right here. This is to turn your automatic high beams on or off. You can see on, off. This button right here, I believe, is your rear window defogger. I'm not 100% sure what this, I'm honestly not 100% sure what this button does, but I think it might be either a window defogger or like a windshield wiper de-icer kind of thing. Let me know what that button does in the comments down below. But over here, this button is to dim the gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is to brighten the gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This button right here is to reset your odometer or your trip A information. So if I press and hold on that, that will reset my trip distance right here back down to 0.0 miles, as well as also reset the time as well. Moving on down, that button is to open up your trunk, and then that is to open up your filler door for your gasoline. And then you do get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So what I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards me, it'll go away from me, and then it'll also move up and down. But again, that is a manual function. It is not power. Let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like in the Toyota Crown. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is also your high beam control stock and your headlight control stock. So all the way down, that is daytime running lights off. You flip that up once, that is headlights in the automatic position. Flip that up one more time, that is parking lights on, and then all the way up is headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic. I like to let the car do its thing. And then this is your windshield wiper control stock for your front windshield wipers. Taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys see you have your Toyota logo at the center of the steering wheel. Let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Toyota Crown. This is a leather wrapped and heated steering wheel as standard with the Platinum. So on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you have your controls for your standard adaptive cruise control. This is to go back on a track, this is to go forward on a track, or you can switch between your different AM, FM, or Sirius XM preset radio stations. And then this button right here is to switch between your different modes, whether it be AM, FM, Amazon Music, Bluetooth audio, etc. That would be the button that you would press to do that. And then this is to speak to the vehicle. This right here is to volume up. Pushing on that, that is to volume down. And then these arrows, as well as this OK button and this back arrow, are to control your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. So you do get a digital gauge cluster as well with the Platinum. And then if I press this button right here, that will bring me into my phone screen on the Apple CarPlay. However, if I wasn't connected to Apple CarPlay, let's say I was just in like the Toyota experience right here, that would bring me into this phone screen. So if I press that, let's see if it brings me into CarPlay or the phone screen. Okay, it's bringing me into the phone screen on the CarPlay, but you guys get the gist, I believe, of what I'm talking about. But back here, this is to downshift, this is to upshift. To go into manual mode, you do have to put it into drive and then pull it down. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but I do want to go throughout our gauge cluster first. So like I mentioned, this is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. On the left-hand side, if like this little arrow right here is in the charging section, that most likely means that you're slowing down and it's using its regenerative brakes. If you guys are in like this eco side right here, that basically means you're just using the battery, or you're doing pretty well on power. And then once it gets to about right here, that means you're using the gas powered motor. That is your coolant temperature gauge. That is, I believe, the odometer right there. And then that is letting us know that the vehicle is ready. That lets us know that we're just using EV power. We're not using the gas powered motor. However, you see when I rev it up, EV goes away, letting us know that the gas-powered motor is in use. And then that is our average fuel economy at the moment, which right now only is like 10.9, but that is because this vehicle has no data yet, because, you know, it hasn't really been driven at all. So as you guys put like miles and miles and miles on it, your fuel economy will actually get better, because everything will be broken in and it'll actually have some data to go over or go off of with the system. That is your ambient exterior temperature right there. That is the current time. that's the digital speedometer readout. And then right, like that little cluster right there is all your different driving nannies or safety features that you guys get with the Platinum. P lets us know that we're in park. That's your digital speedometer readout. That's like your drive information. That is your fuel range. And then that is like what miles per hour or whatever, kilometers per hour speed right there. That lets us know that we're in park. Now let's go throughout the screen. So like I mentioned, these buttons right here control the screen. So if I click over to the right, you can go in between your eco score stuff. You can go in between your adaptive cruise mode. You can go back into this screen, but really, there's not really that much that you guys can do with this screen here. But you can see you get your eco score over there, right about there. So you can kind of monitor how well you're doing. And then over here, that's like your battery charge, how much battery you have left. But I mentioned this, but I don't know if you guys caught on to it. This does have one electric motor, and it is mounted to the rear axle, meaning the rear electric motors are powering your 2 rear wheels, and then the gas-powered motor is powering your front wheels. But that's kind of about it for that screen. There's really not that much going on in that screen, but coming over to here, that is your push button start button. So you guys do get push button start with the Crown. Just like our infotainment, just like our digital gauge cluster, your infotainment screen is the exact same size. So you do get a 12.3-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So this is what the Apple CarPlay screen looks like. I love how it's the full size screen. So this is 1 screen, this is 2 screens, and if I swipe all the way over, you get your navigation stuff, your audio stuff, and your search button. And then that is the time. That's how much, you guys know basically what Apple CarPlay does. But anyway, this is your home button. If you guys don't want to be in Apple CarPlay anymore, you can see where it says Toyota. That will bring you back into your Toyota infotainment screen. So right now, this is your Apple CarPlay stuff. This is your navigation shortcut. This is your music shortcut. That's your phone shortcut. You can go in between your different car stuff. So you can bring up your climate stuff on screen. You can go into your comfort stuff on screen, basically like your heated steering wheel, heated seats, and ventilated seats. You can go into your trip information stuff. Basically the same thing that you see over here is the same stuff that you see on the gauge cluster. Energy flow, vehicle alert, etc., etc. Basically it's a redundant screen for your for your gauge cluster. So pretty cool. And then you can go in between your different settings throughout here. Pretty cool. This is a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle. Over here, it lets us know that we are connected to like the connected services that you guys can get with the with Toyota. That lets us know that Bluetooth is connected, and then that is the current time. Like I said, that kind of, actually this is more like, it looks more rose gold here in the shade, where it looked more like a brownish bronze in the direct sunlight. So this is kind of like a rose gold right now. And then you do get your volume knob right here, which is very nice, but it is a little bit far from the driver, but I guess they split the difference so the driver and the passenger can have equal access to the volume knob. And if you don't feel like reaching over here, you can also like turn up the volume and turn the volume down from the steering wheel mounted buttons. So 2 HVAC vents, this is your hazard button, and then this is your climate control stack. So you do get a dual zone climate control system with the Platinum. So this is your heated seat button. This is your ventilated seat button, both with 3 levels of adjustability. This is your climate control screen throughout here. So if you guys want to turn your heated steering wheel, you push down on that. You can either have it be in automatic, which would turn it automatically on if you wanted to, let's say if it reaches like 40 degrees, let's say, or you can do it manually with 2 levels of adjustability. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it is on. So if I turn the fan up, you get your temperatures, you get your fan speed, etc., etc., but I'm not going to keep that on because that's going to mess with the audio of the video. You also do get a wireless charging pad as standard with the Platinum. All you got to do is slide your phone down in there, and your phone will begin to charge. It lets you know when your phone starts charging here on the infotainment screen. But I wanted to let you guys know that I do have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is one of the bigger phones that you guys can get on the market, and it does fit in the wireless charging pad. And right there, it lets you know that the charging is going on at the moment. You get a USB-C port and another USB-C port, so you get 2 USB-C ports right there. Coming over to here, this does have like active park assist. So basically it will park itself for you. This button right here will pop up your camera views. One thing that's really, really cool is that when you guys put this thing into reverse, and as you guys move, let's say, your car actually becomes invisible. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? Now the car is invisible. So you can basically see what is under the car. I think that is really, really cool. And I'm gonna back into the spot, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. The car basically becomes invisible on your 360-degree view camera system. Obviously, you also do have your backup camera right there as well. When I throw it back into drive, now it's displaying the forward-facing camera. Very, very cool. One thing is that this transmission lever does take a little bit of getting used to. So if you guys want to go into reverse, make sure you have your foot on the brake. Click this over to the left and push up. That will put you into reverse. If you guys want to go into neutral, pull back once. That's going to put you into neutral. Let you know right there that we are in neutral. And then if you guys want to go into drive, again, click it over to the left, pull down, that puts you into drive. And then if you guys want to control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, pull back once. Now you are in manual mode, and you can see it says M1 right there. Push P to go into park. We're pushing P to go back into park again. And then you do have a couple different drive modes. So you can go in between your different drive modes. You have custom, sport plus, sport, normal, comfort, and eco mode. I'm going to leave it in normal mode because I believe that's what it was in, but you guys can see the screen changes dependent on which drive mode you are in, which is pretty darn cool. This also does have auto hold, so if you guys are stuck in traffic, you're tired of holding your foot down on the brake by yourself, the vehicle will hold you in place with its braking system, again, by the push of that button. It's a very, very cool feature. And then this is also to turn your traction control system on or off. Pulling up on that will engage your parking brake. If you guys want to disengage your parking brake, push your foot down on the brake, push down on that, and then the parking brake will disengage. This is your center fold down armrest. It is nicely padded. It is also leather wrapped. Popping that open, you get a USB-A port located down there, as well as a divider here that you can take out if you wanted to. Yeah, so good amount of storage space down in there. I would say about 40% of my forearm fits down in there. But it's also like, it's more of like a long storage space area rather than a deep one. So pretty good amount of storage space down in there considering the size of the vehicle. And you guys can see it's more driver focused, so it opens up to easier access for the driver. Up top here, you get some plastic. You get a speaker surround, or a speaker right up top there. This does have the 11 speaker JBL sound system with subwoofer and amp as standard with the Platinum. And then down here, you get a lockable glove box. I'm gonna try to open it up. A decent amount of space. It's actually like an interesting glove box because most of the space like goes straight back rather than like kind of at an angle down. It goes like straight in there. You guys can see your owner's manual and stuff is in there. So decent amount of storage space for the size of the vehicle. Auto dimming rear view mirror up here with your universal garage door opener. Let's say your house has 3 different garage bays. You can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with these 3 different buttons. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. Get your SOS button located right there. You guys also do get a pano roof as standard with the Crown. However, it does not open. It's just like a big, nice window for you guys to look out of, similar to what you'd find in like the Tesla Model 3. However, with the Tesla Model 3, you guys can't open or close the shade. Personally, I like to be able to do that, but you got your driver light, you got your passenger light, both are LED. If you guys want the all the lights to turn on, that button is the button you would press. Now all the interior dome lights are on. If I press that button, now when I open up the door, the interior lights do not turn on. If I press this button again that says door, now when I open up the door, the interior lights will turn on. So that's a very nice feature. You get your Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. Same thing over here for the passenger. Passenger gets an OPOOP handle. The driver also gets an OPOOP handle. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light. Let's see if this slides forwards and backwards. I hope it does, and it does. You guys can see forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. Very, very nice. So very nice interior here with the Crown Platinum. I do want to go over a couple things that you guys do get as standard with the Platinum. So you guys do get the 11 speaker JBL sound system with the subwoofer and the amplifier. You guys also get a wireless charging pad, heated and ventilated front seats with a heated steering wheel. You also do get heated second row outboard seats. You get 8-way power front driver seats, a dual zone climate control system with a dust and pollen filter, and you guys also do get that fixed pano roof. Here are some standard safety features also that you guys get with the Platinum. So you guys do get Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which includes pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assistant, automatic high beams, roadside assistant, proactive driving assistant, advanced park, which basically will park you in a parking spot, blind spot with rear cross traffic alert. You also get front and rear sensors, and then you also do get an auto braking system. Bear with me here while I pull up the window sticker. All right, now that I have the window sticker on screen, you guys can see what you guys get as standard. You can also see what comes, the other different options that this particular Platinum has been optioned with. But basically, I'm just gonna highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Toyota Crown Platinum is spec'd is $54,354. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comments down below. But before we move into the driving portion of the review, I do want to show you guys what we got going on in these rear seats. So taking a look at the door panel back here, it looks very similar to what you would find in the front. You get your JBL speaker right there, same door handle that you would find in the front. You get the leather wrapping from about here to down here. You also get a little LED light there. And then you get a spot you can set some drinks, and automatic up and down rear window. This is to turn your outboard seat on or off, but you only get one level of adjustability back here. This is what your seats look like in the rear. You get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, and it's also just a nicely padded armrest. It's not going to open up because of the plastic that's on the seats, and I don't want to take the plastic off. Seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, seat back pocket behind the passenger seat, 2 HVAC vents, 2 USB-C ports. Back here you get an OPU panel as well as a spot you can set your dry cleaning. Same thing as well on this side. Get an OPU panel, a spot you can set your dry cleaning, and a dome light. Last but not least, you get a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone on both sides of the rear for your rear passengers, so they can be heard on your Bluetooth call. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Crown. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now onto the driving portion of the review, where this thing drives very, very nicely. So I've done videos with a couple different hybrids at this point, and I'm gonna call out one in particular that I did not like, and that was the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. That had a hybrid system, and I'm gonna compare that to this. So this hybrid system here in the Crown is way more seamless. I mean, you can't really even tell, you can't tell when the gas-powered motor turns on, which is very, very nice. You know, when I was in that 4xe, I was like, man, this thing's clunky. Like, you could feel it and it would be like, ugh. Whereas this, when you like get on it and the gas-powered motor comes on, it's so seamless. Like, you cannot feel when the gas-powered motor turns on, and that is something that I really appreciate. I hate a clunky driving experience, especially on, you know, a rather expensive vehicle. And that 4xe, I think, costed more than this. That was like a $60,000 vehicle, and it was clunky. I'm like, this is unacceptable. So, you know, Toyota's had the Prius around for, geez, like 20 plus years really at this point, and they really know what and how to engineer a hybrid system. So this hybrid system is so seamless. It works so well. The fuel economy is so good. Like I mentioned to you guys, I went to fill this thing up at the gas station because it was very low on fuel. I put $5 in it. Before I filled it up, it had 20 miles of range. When I put 1.5 gallons or $5 worth of fuel, it bumped me up from 20 miles of range to 75 miles of range, which is awesome. You know, to spend $5 and to be able to get 55 miles of range, that is very, very nice. You know, I'm not used to that because I've got a 2010 Camaro. It's got a V8. That thing actually does decently on fuel. It does like 23 miles per gallon if I'm like kind of not babying it, but getting on it a little bit, but also babying it at the same time. But I also, my daily driver is a 2007 Honda Ridgeline, and that thing, if I'm lucky and I'm babying it, I can get 20 miles per gallon. So I'm not used to, you know, putting $5 in and getting 55 miles of range. That is a refreshing thing to see. And honestly, when I was driving this thing over to the spot where I film, I was like, I think I could actually like daily drive one of these things myself, because it doesn't feel like a Toyota on the inside. It doesn't look like a Toyota from the outside. It's just a really good looking and good driving vehicle, and it's also comfortable and has pretty darn good get up and go. So I'm gonna floor it here. And you can feel that this thing's got 400 pound-feet of torque. You can feel that this thing's got 340 horsepower, because the initial get up and go, you're like, okay, that's pretty impressive, especially considering the fuel economy that this thing gets. And honestly, fuel economy aside, the acceleration is pretty impressive. Now, handling wise, it actually handles pretty well. It doesn't feel like there's like body roll, but it feels like I'm not like super connected to the front wheels. And what I mean by that is that this is probably an electrically assisted steering rack, so you don't really have much steering feel, but for like 95% of you guys who are buying this car, you don't really care about that. That is like something that you care about if you're buying a sports car, you're buying like a 911 GT3 or something like that. You guys want something that has steering feel, and those cars obviously do. And this thing handles so well. Like these turns are these are no joke turns. Like going around these turns, I'm pushing it a little bit more than I would, and it handles so well. It stays super flat. But also when you're just cruising in a straight line, you're cruising down the highway, you're cruising down the back roads, it handles bumps very well. Like it's not like a jarring driving experience going over bumps. It almost like floats right over them, which is very nice. And I love vehicles that are kind of like two-faced, where they can handle, but they also, you know, are a plush ride when you want them to be. And that comes from the active suspension that you guys get with the Platinum. I'm gonna gun it here once we get straightened out. Here we go. I'm telling you guys, this thing has quite a bit of get up and go. I think if you guys went and test drove one of these, test drove the Platinum, because the Platinum has a different drivetrain than what you would find in the XLE and the Limited, I think you guys would be very impressed with the kind of power delivery that this has, because it is honestly quite impressive. And it's just a really good driving experience, because you get great fuel economy, you get great power, it handles well, it's got comfortable seating, and the suspension is comfortable when you want it to be as well. So honestly, if I was looking for a car like this, this would probably be in my top 5 contenders of, you know, vehicles in this class. You know, the roofline in the back is a little bit interesting looking, but it works, if that makes sense. I think it looks a lot better than what you would find in the Lucid Air, but it's similar looking to the Lucid Air. It just does it a little bit better. And it's also cheaper, I believe. I don't know what the exact cost is of a Lucid Air, but that's also a fully electric vehicle. This is not a fully electric vehicle. This is a hybrid, which honestly, I would never, at least now, buy an electric vehicle. I would buy a hybrid. Reason being is I don't want to go to a charging station and have to wait an hour for my car to be fully charged. And you're lucky if you charge fully in an hour. Like, that's Tesla supercharging times. So honestly, I would get a hybrid if I wanted something that got good fuel economy. You know, I wouldn't want a fully electric vehicle, and I think we need to go to hybrids before we go to electric vehicles. And it's almost like we're getting pushed right into the electric vehicles, which I think is a mistake. I think we need to go to hybrids first to kind of get our feet wet to get into the electric stuff. And I think this is a great happy medium between a gas-powered vehicle and a electric vehicle. You know, it works very well. Like right now, listen. Super quiet. Sorry, I got a scratch in my throat. I can barely talk. But overall, very nice vehicle. I feel like I'm rushing this video, but for some reason my voice is a little bit messed up. To conclude or to summarize this vehicle, it is very nice. It drives very nice. It's super comfortable. You get a ton of safety features as standard. The 11 speaker JBL sound system sounds very good. And I was just in a Toyota Highlander that didn't have the JBL sound system, but you could get the 11 speaker JBL sound system in that car. And the JBL, it takes it to the next level between the standard sound system to the JBL. It's louder, it's clearer, it's got more bass. It's just a really good sound system. So overall, this is a very nice hybrid vehicle. For those of you guys who are looking for some luxury, but you're also looking for fuel economy, I would say at least go out and take a look at one of these, take a test drive. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys own one, or let me know if you guys test drive one, and let me know if you guys test drove one. Let me know what you guys thought. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did like this video or took anything from this video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I hit 10,000 subscribers. Now we are on the journey to 100,000. So again, if you guys did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.